Today is a very important episode of the Box Office Buds. Thank you for watching, to listening, and helping us grow. We really do appreciate it. And this right here is really why we decided to make this podcast. We know there's a bunch of movie podcasts out there. There's a bunch of dudes talking about their favorite movies, what makes us different. We really wanted to sit here and bring together the community to try and save the world of comedy. And that's what we are trying to attempt to do today when we talk about The Naked Gun, the reboot that you've all maybe been waiting for and maybe are astonished it's happening, but we're here to convince you why comedy matters. And also a little bit of body horror as well, as Together is coming out and Kellerman is making us talk about it. Kellerman, quite the weekend for movies.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing all of it.
Yeah, it's really fun. It'd be a tough C-Stream skip, I'm not going to lie, because I think it's a very, very good slate of movies coming out.
Can we play C-Stream and skip
really
it?
quickly with Bad Guys, Naked Gun, and
Together.
And Together?
Yeah.
I'm skipping Together. I don't like Dave Franco, nor do I like Alison Brie, and I especially don't like them together. The number one movie I want to see is Naked Gun. We'll talk about that in a second, and I will wait Bad Guys 2 on streaming. Alche?
Yeah, I mean, if I didn't have a son, I'd be seeing Naked Gun first and foremost for sure.
Yeah.
The guys, I think the three of us, we'll get into it in a second, but I'm seeing Naked Gun, I'm streaming Bad Guys, and yeah, if I'm gonna skip a movie, I'm skipping like a married couple eating each other's faces and connecting Siamesely. I'm good on that.
Nope. I'm with you that I would see, out of the three, I would see Naked Gun just because I'm a huge Naked Gun fan.
Yeah.
But I would stream Together. I would also see Together if I could, but I'll stream Together and I'll skip Bad Guys.
Boo.
Well, let's save Together for a little bit
Yes.
later. Because,
What I want to say, sorry, before we start, is it safe to say that the three of us found a love of film, TV, even theater because of slapstick, spoofy, parody, wacky screwball comedy? For me, it was my like true love of TV and film came from Mel Brooks, and that screwball comedy, parody comedy trope that just like was done so well for so long. And I'm so glad to see an attempt at bringing it back, yes, with an IP, but in a totally different way that'll honor it, I think. And I don't think Liam Neeson would do this if he didn't believe in it.
I have a lot to say about The Naked Gun, but to answer your question, whenever young Tony was homesick from school, had a little bit of a tummy ache, didn't want to go to school that day, he made himself feel better by watching reruns of Mr. Bean on television.
The best.
So
Bean.
to say the slapstick comedy and spoofy comedy and all that stuff, I grew up on it. I wanted to be Mr. Bean. I would reenact stuff around my living room when I was a kid because I thought it was the funniest effing thing in the world. And so yes, 100% yes. What was your history growing up with this? Did that come a part of your life, or did that not? Did you not gravitate towards that type of humor?
It wasn't the thing that got me interested in film. That was horror. It was actually, I accidentally stumbled upon a behind the scenes of The Exorcist, showing how they turned her head around and all that stuff when I was very young. I was just amazed by special effects used in horror movies.
Cool.
But Jim Carrey, obviously, humongous impact on my younger self, who was extremely slapstick.
Yeah.
And then you had, I wasn't homesick from school that often, but in the mornings, early in the morning, Three Stooges.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Reruns of those kinds of things. I mean, slapstick was just a huge part of everything. And I'd lean comedy in my writing and my acting and all that stuff. So yes, of course.
This movie, as you said, The Naked Gun, it's a remake, it's an IP. I wouldn't say it's a remake. It's sort of a reboot of this whole entire franchise. And when we went into the draft, because that's how this movie, this podcast is about a fantasy box office league that we're all in. We each draft movies. Whoever makes the most money in the worldwide box office wins said movies. And we enter this season, enter every single year drafting a team of movies. And so we're doing our research. We're trying to see what's coming out. When does it come out? What's it going up against? What are the movies out there that we don't really know anything about? No trailers, barely a cast. Some of them don't even have titles yet. And we're trying to draft these movies. We all saw The Naked Gun. We all saw it starred Liam Neeson. And none of us drafted this movie. It was on my list, but I picked other movies ahead of it because going into this, I saw this on the rundown and I said, I want no part of this. I think this is, why are they remaking this movie? I don't like this at all. And then every bit of trailer, every bit of marketing, every bit of everything I've seen from this movie makes me, this is arguably the most anticipated movie outside of the blockbusters of the year for me. This movie and a movie coming out next week. Two of the biggest, most anticipated movies I have on the year. I am thrilled that this thing is coming out. I can't wait to see it.
I agree. Not Avatar, not Freakier Friday, huh? No, I think it's. I think they've done an incredible job.
Those two movies don't belong in the same breath.
What do you mean? I think they've done an incredible job of bringing us back into the space to laugh. I think people are just like looking for something to enjoy and something to trust that they're going to have a good time, like an Anchorman, that we just haven't had in so long. Even like a Step Brothers, like that's been so long since we've had a communal laughing experience, I feel like, in a theater. And I think this has a possibility to do it. I wanted nothing to do with this when we drafted movies because comedies have been such failures.
Yeah, that's
in the
what
box
I
office.
thought you were gonna say. I wasn't allergic to it when we were drafting because I didn't think it was gonna be good. I'm extremely excited for a Naked Gun reboot, even before I saw any trailers or anything like that. I grew up watching the Naked Gun and Police Squad with my dad.
The best.
Loved it, and Leslie Nielsen movies in general, really. Just the goat of parody comedy, but comedy movies are not making money.
No.
And there was a time where $20 million at the box office was enough to recoup the cost of the movie. And now movies just cost more than that, and they can't make enough at the theater to justify it.
With the big name actors.
Right.
Like,
that's why Adam Sandler's doing everything on Netflix, you know?
Yeah, don't even get me started.
Netflix can pay him more than he will make from the box office of his movies.
So, and the Naked Gun itself and Police Squad, all those movies. The Naked Gun, though, this is the IP we're jumping into. It hasn't really been a bankable franchise. It's made money because, as you said, those movies didn't cost that much to make. But the one that's made the most money was Naked Gun 2.5, The Smell of Fear. And
I didn't even know it had a subtitle.
That opened to $20.8 million domestically and only made $86.9 worldwide. Right. And the only numbers I can find is domestically. It might not have even been out internationally, or they didn't track it back then. But 86.9 domestically in the total run for the biggest franchise movie. That's a lot of money in today's factors, but still, it's not like that's a $200, $300 million movie. There's no guarantee that this is going to work.
No, when everything else in the theater is a Jurassic World and a Marvel movie, a little comedy just can't compete.
I hope it can.
And something that I've said on this podcast before is, unfortunately for the box office of these movies, comedy doesn't lose much going from the big screen to the small screen.
That's true.
You can stream a comedy at home and laugh your ass off.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need the loud sound and the rest of the audience to make you enjoy it like a horror movie might or an action movie might.
It doesn't
have the spectacle.
This is where we diverge in the yellow wood here, because that is the problem with society right now. Communal comedy is so much more enjoyable than singular comedy, and we've completely lost sight of that. Seeing Anchorman in the theater, seeing Ace Ventura in the theater, seeing these movies in the theater with people falling. I fell off my chair during 8 Crazy Nights, in the middle of a theater of people laughing. Because dumb comedy. I'm just throwing out that comedies can bring people together in a way that other things cannot. And I think a communal experience like this, even in the PSA before Fantastic Four, people were laughing and applauding. The little fart at the end of that, people were hysterically laughing, and the energy was infectious. I also think, like a Sinners, if it is great, people will flock because it's going to be appointment viewing.
But for a comedy,
with a group.
It can't just be good. It has to be funny. And it's hard.
Great.
It's hard to make something funny for large numbers of people,
I will say, and this is a little inside baseball because we're recording this podcast from Los Angeles. Each of us live in Los Angeles or are in this world of making movies and making television. We know some folks, and I know some folks who have seen screenings of this movie.
Oh, really?
And every one of them to a T. Don't have any ties to it financially. They're not in the movie whatsoever. Every one of them to a T is super excited about this movie and thought it was excellent.
Well, The Naked Gun is
I am pumped.
The Naked Gun is a special type of comedy, right?
Yes.
It's
It's a spoof. It's a parody.
It's broad.
But even
It's
beyond
broad.
that, it's there are few comedies, even parody comedies, even spoof movies that do as much of the mixture of lowbrow and super highbrow comedy and just things happening in the background comedy.
love it.
I mean,
Give me a oneer. Give me a oneer, Liam Neeson. Just give me a long oneer.
There are. I could list the things on my fingers. It's like Airplane, Top Secret, and Angie Tribeca was like a recent television show that used that kind of comedy. But it's so rare to see it and to see it done well.
Yeah.
And generally, I think that what's different about that type of comedy is usually there's like a funny guy and then the straight. And they're in like a realistic world,
Yep.
Will Ferrell is a sort of goofy character in a realistic world. The Naked Gun movies, the main character is the grounded thing, and everything around him is silly.
Yes, you must be serious. I think it harkens back to vaudeville. It harkens back to Abbott and Costello, the classic.
Yes.
The classics of comedy is where we need to get back to, I
Yeah.
think, and this is a great re-entrance into it. There are a lot of good parodies, though. Beyond what you
That's
just
true.
mentioned,
You're
a
right.
lot of good slapstick, a lot of good screwball, a lot of good parody comedies. Should we talk about them?
Some would call them spoofs, but we can call them whatever you want. In the granular world of it all, I think what you're asking is, what are the top 3 parody movies?
Yes, the top 3 parody movies.
You just mentioned one of them. I think Airplane needs to be discussed. I think Airplane stands the test of time. I think you have a drinking problem. Sure, I picked the wrong week to stop sniffing cocaine.
Airplane is timeless.
It's unbelievable. And I will say, before we dive into the rest of them, I think I have 8 here. This is going to be our biggest argument yet. Because there are so many options, and they're all phenomenal. But Airplane needs to be discussed.
I have 2, and they probably should be on the list.
Hold on. Airplane needs to be on the list because it is the only example that isn't just a parody of something. They took the script of a real drama and they just insert jokes into it and filmed that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's the only movie that I know that did that just took an actual existing script.
They're like, wait, we can make this a comedy? Great.
Yeah.
The white sound
Not-
is for loading only.
It's
not
absolutely genius.
since Woody Allen's What's Up Tiger Lily, where he just
Yes.
redubbed a whole movie.
Yes.
They've done something like that.
Shout out to Woody Allen.
Let's not.
So is Airplane one of your 2 movies?
I will. No, it's not in the 2 that I'm talking about.
Because I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know if Airplane's in my top 3 because I cannot decipher the 8 I have.
Well, let's keep going then. What else you got?
This is in my top 3 comedies of all time, on top of my top 3 parodies of all time, and it's Young Frankenstein.
Yeah.
It must be on this list.
Yeah.
I can't let it go on the list.
You're completely wrong.
Why not?
It's the one Mel Brooks movie I disagree with everybody on.
You are on a hill alone.
I
And
know.
I might divorce you from this podcast.
I have 2 Mel Brooks movies that I put way ahead of it.
And the other one in the parody space.
Hold on. No. We're not off of Young Frankenstein. What about Young Frankenstein makes you think it doesn't deserve to be as talked about in the heights that it is?
I simply don't think it's very funny.
You're so wrong.
I'm sorry. And I know that's an unpopular opinion. I know it's a lot of people's favorite Mel Brooks movie.
It's in
And
my
I'm sorry
top 2.
to say that I have 2 that go above it, and it just...
Do any
it-
of them
it doesn't-
fit the parody movie?
Yeah, both. Well, yeah.
They both do, but Robin and
All
Men
of
in
Mel
Tights
Brooks'
is
movies
not
are
in the
parody.
conversation. It's a
What
very
isn't?
Robin and Men in Tights is not in the conversation.
Why would that not be in the
Because
conversation?
Spaceballs is better.
Hold on. Time out.
Fine, but neither of those are actually even the one I'm talking about.
Neither of those are
Blazing
in the
Saddles is not a parody.
neither
I'm not
of-
talking about Blazing Saddles either.
boys. Neither of those are in the top 3 of parody movies. Spaceballs nor Robin Hood Men. in
Okay,
Tights.
but what should be is Dracula Dead and Loving It.
No,
No.
but it's a great movie.
What do you mean no?
No, it's his worst movie.
You first of all,
It's Mel Brooks'
his
worst movie.
best movie.
It's Mel Brooks' worst
and
movie.
second of all, it's the only one of all of his movies that is almost a shot-for-shot remake of the movie that he's parodying.
Well,
That's
silent
great.
movie
It
is,
looks
but
so okay. Fine,
I'm
silent
happy
movie.
it's a shot-for-shot remake. It's not better than Young Frankenstein.
I would put it on this list over Young Frankenstein.
You don't get-
I can't.
you don't get
cannot-
Leslie Nielsen without Gene Wilder. Young Frankenstein is incredible.
I don't
Natalie
agree that the
Cole.
two
He's
have
the
anything
Young
to do with
Frankenstein is
each
the
other.
best. Gene Wilder's the best straight man of all time.
And the fact that his hump keeps moving every shot, like there's so much in that movie.
Put the candle
roll
back.
in the hay.
I'm
like,
not
there's
going
so
to debate
much.
that it's a good movie. I just don't think it belongs on our top 3 list because I don't like it.
Spaceballs needs to be discussed as
No,
well.
it does not.
I would allow Spaceballs, but I personally wouldn't put it
As far
above
as a
Dracula
parody
Dead and
movie
Loving
goes?
It.
It's extremely a parody movie. Don't get me wrong, and I'm very happy they're making another one. The marketing for Spaceballs 2, as fantastic as
Already
the
great.
Naked
I
Gun
need a
marketing.
shirt now.
This is the Spaceballs sweatshirt. I love it. I love it. I don't think it didn't make my top 8. Put it there, but I want to stay on Kellerman for a second because I want to keep Angry Kellerman here because another movie that needs to be on this list that is one of my 8. This is Spinal Tap.
No.
I
You
think
know
it's-
I don't like that
I
one.
know you don't. That's why I brought it up. That's one of the best parody movies.
It's a good parody movie. It's not even close to the 3 that we just talked about.
No.
It's not as good as Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Thank you.
Oh, come on. Okay, fine. Other ones that I want to name, The Naked Gun. I don't think it's on the list, but it had to be mentioned because we are parodying it, and it's its own sect of that world. But I do think Airplane is better.
The 5
than
movies
The
we
Naked
just
Gun.
talked about are better than.
Oh, we
I
had to
mean,
bring it
any
up.
Liam Neeson movie really could go on the list as
Leslie
far as
Nielsen,
I'm
Leslie
concerned.
Nielsen.
What did I say?
He's a Liam Neeson.
The new one.
Any Leslie Nielsen movie could go on the list as far as I'm concerned. He's the GOAT of parody movies.
Okay,
He's definitely up
Galactus.
there.
Another movie that needs to be mentioned in the top 3 parody movies, Shaun of the Dead. Because I think it is a fantastic movie, fantastically made. You can discuss that it's not necessarily like a slapstick comedy. I get that.
I would say that it's not a spoof. It's not a parody.
Sure, but I think it's parodying that world, but I get it. Same reason Kung Fu Hustle is kind of a parody movie,
Correct.
but it's also not because
Not
it's
a
still a
parody.
Kung
I
Fu
think they're both
movie.
in like a campier place than the movies
Fine.
we're discussing.
Fine.
They're extremely wonderful comedies.
There's
They are not parodies.
2 more I want to mention. Austin Powers.
Oh, that's a good one. James Bond spoof.
It's so good.
Wow, that's a good one. I didn't even have my list, but I have to put Austin Powers on there.
It's still funny, and it's still stupid, and it
Wow.
works.
Man.
It works. It works, and I haven't even mentioned my number 1.
If we are putting Austin Powers and not a Mel Brooks movie, I'm going to friggin' lose my mind.
Well, no, I have Young Frankenstein over.
I love Austin Powers. I will allow it to certainly be in the conversation.
Well, a Mel Brooks movie should definitely be on the list. It should just be Dracula
It's
Dead
not
and
going to
Loving
be
It,
Dracula
obviously.
Dead and Loving It. Last movie I want to say when it comes to spoof movies, unless you guys have any more you want to throw into the
I
ring
have
here.
one more.
Go for it.
Scary movie.
It's
Yeah.
got to be
As
discussed.
a horror movie
It's gotta be
fan,
discussed.
it's the best. And when Scary Movie came out, it was a huge success.
Huge success.
It was a huge. I mean, I don't even like it as much as I remember it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
It's just so much. It's all dumb. It lacks that sort of like random highbrow moment or like what
Sure.
was that or like it's so predictable and stupid.
But
I-
it is an extremely clever parody. The
Very
parody,
clever parody.
of all the scenes from the different movies
Definitely.
are excellent.
I will say this, and you could disagree with me on this, but this is why Scary Movie didn't make my list. If you have not seen Frankenstein or you don't know the story, if you have not seen any of the scary movies in Scary Movie, Young Frankenstein is still funny, Scary Movie is not.
yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that.
That's
I
why I
definitely
kept
agree
it
with
off
that.
my list.
Same. I put
It's
Scary
from Scary Movie 2, but like Grab My Strong Hand is funny no matter
It's
who
funny,
you are or
but
what
I-
you've seen.
But I feel the same way
You know
about,
what I mean?
See,
I
that's
feel the
Scary
same
Movie
way about
too.
not another
That is
teen
Scary
movie as
Movie
I
too.
do Scary Movie. Not another teen movie and Scary Movie live in the same place for me.
No way.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, come
They just-
on.
they just don't-
Scary Movie is iconic, and every other this kind of movie afterwards was not.
It's also coming back. They're making another Scary Movie as well.
I can't wait.
This
I hope it's the Wayans
one,
brothers
Last
again.
one before we land this argument. We land this plane. No pun intended. Airplanes on this list. Last one. My favorite spoof movie. When we talked about movies that the slapstick comedy that grew you up, I talked about Mr. Bean. I didn't want to mention this because I wanted to save it for right now. Might still be my favorite comedy of all time. Definitely one of the most quotable comedies of all time. And it's definitely a parody. Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Oh.
What is that a parody of? Just
The
medieval
whole
films?
King Arthur like realm of it, yeah. The whole mythology aspect of it, and
Wow.
and it talks about like laws of like revolution in England and all this other
Yeah, it's
stuff.
gotta be up there.
It's definitely a parody.
It's amazing.
I can't not mention it. I can't not have it on there because of what it meant to me. When
It's
I was growing
incredible.
up.
It's some of the funniest shit that ever existed.
Easily one of the greatest comedies of all time. I don't think I could put it on the list of best parodies.
Oh,
It's
man,
all
it's
about
tough.
that Knights of the Round Table stuff.
But it doesn't specifically parody former previous movies.
It
I
parodies
mean, Robin
the whole
Hood Men in
King Arthur
Tights
storyline.
is the American version of that. Of
Robin
Monty
Hood Men in
Python.
Tights parodies the story of Robin Hood.
And
Obviously,
this
I know.
parodies the
What's the
story
sto-
of King Arthur. Everything that's ever been made King Arthur-wise. Every book that's ever been written.
You're right. Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess I just never thought of it as a parody movie, so it's hard for me to kind of wrap my head around that. You don't think
The Knights of Need.
I can't think of it that way. It's
Knight-
not a parody.
the Knights
It's
of-
just an excellent comedy.
The Knights of Need didn't exist, but
right,
King Arthur
right.
and the Round
I
Table
know,
is
and they
a story.
find Sir Galahad, and they find all the. You're right, but
The quest for the Holy Grail.
I can't think of it that way.
Okay, we gotta narrow this
Especially
down.
not compared to things like Scary Movie and Spaceballs that are like literally
Parody.
that's-
Young Frankenstein, whether you
Young
love it or not,
Frankenstein,
it's clearly
sure,
a
yes,
parody.
Yes,
I think we're all agreed that Airplane's on the list.
Airplane must be on the
And
list.
if 2 of 3 of us are going to see Young Frankenstein, Kellerman, you got to kowtow here.
I would say I would put Scary Movie and Austin Powers on the list before I put a Mel Brooks movie. If the Mel Brooks movie isn't
I hate
Dracula Dead
everything
and Loving
you.
It.
That is like
Hold on.
ulcer-inducing.
Calm yourself down. Are you okay with Austin Powers being on this list?
If Young Frankenstein is on
That's
this
what
list,
I'm-
I'll let you have Young Frankenstein.
That's what I'm contending.
fine.
Okay. The top 3 parody
Jeez.
movies of all time. Airplane, Austin Powers, and Young Frankenstein.
Oh
We did
man,
Tell
I'm
us
gonna-
what your favorite Mel Brooks movie is in the comments.
I gotta go to the doctor after
Did
this.
it. Can Liam Neeson, Pamela Anderson, Paul Walter Hauser, and the Naked Gun reboot land on that list? I think it can be excellent, and no is the answer. That list is remarkable.
Paul Walter Hauser having a year, huh?
Really?
Good for him, man.
I mean, it's no Pedro Pascal, but
Isn't he in a Sidney Sweeney movie coming out
he's
soon?
definitely doing his version of Pedro
he's
Pascal.
doing a lot.
He's
What'd you
doing
say?
a lot.
He's in a
Isn't
what?
he? I think he's in a Sidney Sweeney movie coming out soon.
Sure.
Yeah. Good for him.
He's playing
man.
Sidney Sweeney in a movie?
And he can do anything.
Before we dive into any predictions here, I do want to say it's coming up directly against Together. It's coming up directly against Bad Guys 2. We predicted the Bad Guys 2 number yesterday. 25 million was the over-under. Some people went over, some people went under. If you want to see who did what, go watch that episode. Naked Gun, however. Do you think, we've talked about comedies and how much they struggle, do you think this movie can outperform other movies at the box office? Let's start with, will it make more or less opening weekend domestically than Bad Guys 2?
I don't think so.
You don't think so. And you took the under, spoiler, on Bad
On
Guys
Bad
2.
Guys 2, I did. I think it could make a similar amount of money as Bad Guys 2, but I don't think that it like blows Bad Guys 2
Do we have
out.
projections on Naked Gun?
We do. We do have projections. We also have TJ gave us a number, but we're not
What do
going
you
to
got on
guess it.
projections for
Yeah,
Naked
what
Gun?
is the number?
Listen, I came prepared for this podcast. I'm ready to state that I think it blows out Bad Guys 2. I
Yeah.
think all of you are underestimating what this thing is going to do.
I think it's going to do quite well. I think it's over.
TJ included, because the number for Bad Guys 2 was 25 million. The number TJ gave us for Naked Gun was 18 million. I think this thing kills Bad Guys 2, and I think this thing makes 30 million domestically opening weekend.
See, I think
this is a huge, ginormous success for comedy and for these movies. And I think it has the legs because I genuinely think it's going to be really good.
15 to 18 million is a perfect right where it belongs.
No chance.
I think we're looking at 25 to 30. I'm going to say 25 to 30.
Wow, really?
Yeah. I'm going to say 25 to 30 with a max box office worldwide at the end of 200.
See, I think we're a little biased here. I think modern audiences, not really looking for an airplane. We love them. We love those types of movies. I hold Naked Gun in a special place in my heart. We grew up with a lot of those things. I just don't think. I think that comedy feels a little old-fashioned.
Yeah, but isn't like
we
Lyle
love it. I'm
Duckett in
going
the
to
middle
love
of
it.
Missouri who loves football and drinking beer looking to see an OJ joke? I mean, I think
That's
there's
the
other
thing.
stuff.
Are they?
Around
we've lost comedy.
Liam Neeson in a schoolgirl outfit isn't as funny to people now as it may have been 30 years ago.
I don't think they're coming opening weekend, but I do think the people talking. This is going to be a movie that people are going to discuss. It's going to be a movie that people are going to go say,
You're right.
"Have you seen Naked Gun, dude? It was
Yeah.
really funny." And I think it's going to convince people to go on the date the second weekend, the third weekend, the fourth
That's
weekend.
fair.
I
And
sure
I do
hope
think
so.
it has legs, and I do think it makes a lot of money. But To your point about comedy, we don't have these anymore. We don't have the Anchormans, the Wedding Crashers. We used to have one every other weekend.
Right, yeah. It's really just hard to say how it's going to do.
But that's why I think this one will succeed, because we haven't had it.
It's true.
And this is going to be such a different slice of cake you can get at the movie theater. You can see Jurassic World, Fantastic Four, Superman every weekend if you want. You know what those movies are going to be. There's nothing that's like The Naked Gun. And I think for that reason, it's going to stand up above the fray.
Boy, I
That's
sure
a
hope
good
it
point.
does, because if it doesn't, I mean, studios are going to be saying no to even IP-based comedies. It's going to be really few and far between that anything breaks through. If Liam Neeson, Mr. Taken, plus Leslie Nielsen's heritage of this IP with what looks to be a very funny movie is unsuccessful, comedy's screwed.
Yeah.
It's true. It has the best chance a comedy could have. It is a recognizable title, IP. It is Liam Neeson, a recognizable, bankable actor. The trailers look funny, and there is a shitload of marketing for this movie.
Like, you went to
everywhere.
Comic-Con, you saw a Naked
shitload
Gun
of
coffee
good marketing
stand.
for this movie.
Great marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a coffee at Comic-Con at a Naked Gun site that all the ingredients were like 6 shots of fire, 2 shots of man milk. It was the receipt was insane.
And it's just, everything they've
Those
done
things
has
weren't
been,
in the coffee, just to be clear.
everything they've done has been so smart. Even to all the 7 posters they put out, and each one of them is a different gag. Like, it's working, and I hope it pays off at the box office, but we'll tell. Speaking of stuff that doesn't stand up above the fray, it's another horror movie coming out called Together.
Do we even need to talk about this movie?
It's coming out. Dave Franco, Alison Brie. They're a couple that ends up Siamesing, which I loved your use of that, together, and one of them controls the other. And again, we've seen the story. Horror movies are great. I just saw one this last weekend that I really enjoyed. We'll be talking about next week. One of my favorite anticipated movies is a horror movie coming out, but Together. Do you have any interest in this one?
I'm excited for this one. I'm excited for this one for 2 reasons. One, I think it looks like a really good, weird, creepy, low-budget horror movie, which I'm like into just in general.
Yeah.
2 is there's a lot of controversy around this movie because supposedly they may or may not have stolen the idea from another group of filmmakers who made their movie that they claim is this movie. So I'm excited to both see their movie and then this movie and compare the two.
You gonna do a little AP
and
sample?
See, did they maybe steal it? I'm very curious.
I have no interest in the Dave.
You're not like a body horror
Definitely not
movie
a body horror
person in
guy.
general, right? See, I grew up with like Cronenberg and
Definitely
shit
not
like
a
that,
body
The
horror
Fly,
guy,
Video
especially
Drone.
I'm not a huge Dave Franco guy. I misspoke when I said I didn't like Alison Brie. I really like Alison Brie. Don't like Dave Franco at all. There was a marketing. They're doing great marketing in this movie as well. There was a social media marketing campaign where they were both on a park bench and they were eating an ice cream together, and then they end up like touching each other's tongues. I don't want to see that, and I think there's going to be a lot of that in this movie, and it doesn't interest me at all.
I think that he is really mediocre and got into this business because he's James Franco's brother.
This coming from a guy who loves what's his name?
Ethan Hawke?
Yeah.
Oh boy, you don't like Dave Franco because he's bland, huh?
I don't like Dave Franco because I don't believe a single thing he does. The best acting Dave Franco has ever done has been in the studio this season.
He was good in that weird one he did with Julie Roberts' daughter.
Definitely missed that one.
Verve.
He was not great in that movie. In fact, he was extremely mediocre, per usual.
I
So
like
you're
that
not
one. I
interested
like
in
that
this
one.
one.
Dave Franco's voice is grating to me. Dave Franco's face is grating to me.
Okay.
Dave Franco's appearance
So if you
in
don't
any
have
movie
some
is
sort
grating
of
to me.
weird hatred for Dave Franco, then maybe you'll be
I'm
interested
probably
in
still
this
gonna
like
see
I
it
am.
because
You're
I-
still gonna see it.
You know what?
After all of that,
chance.
wait a second.
I'm still gonna see it.
You're still gonna see it.
I'm still gonna see it, and here's why.
You hate Dave Franco.
Though I hate Dave Franco, I don't hate him as a person.
Everything he does is grating, and we're like, yeah, I'll pay $20.
I don't hate him as a person. I don't hate him as a person, and I have AMC stubs. Show me something, Dave Franco. Please, for the love of God, be better than everything else you've ever done.
He'll give Ethan Hawke a million chances, but Dave Franco only gets
I don't
one.
think to give him a million chances. He's excellent in everything he does.
A lot was said in those in that sentence. I think that's enough about Together. I think I'm going to be the one to see Naked Gun. I'm seeing it opening night. I'm not even waiting until August 1st. I'm seeing it Thursday, July 21st, 31st. I can't wait. But tell us if you're going to see these movies, because we'll be back with a review about them next week. Another big week for movies and a big week ahead, because next week, Freakier Friday is coming out.
And it's going to make a boatload of
No
money.
one cares but cheese.